My name is Sarah Brann. I am here with Crystal Coast Compost and am so grateful to have this opportunity to speak to the members of the North Carolina Composting Council about the vital role our community composting program plays within our coastal community. I would first like to thank Muriel Williman, Kate Sullivan, and the North Carolina Composting Council for inviting us to speak this evening. We are honored to speak to this group of passionate stewards of the earth and have the utmost respect for this group of like-minded individuals. The North Carolina Composting Council's mission to develop, expand, and promote composting and compost use in our state is encouraging. The North Carolina Compost Council's principles to practice and promote the responsible use of the earth's ecosystems and resources is a commitment we choose to live and work by at Crystal Coast Compost, and it is inspiring us on our mission to compost the coast. Are we at CCC? Crystal Coast Compost is owned and operated by Sarah and Justin Brann, with help and inspiration from our almost 20-month-old son, Banks. Crystal Coast Compost was created from a backyard compost pile and a dream. Working at the Newbridge Organic Market and Cafe in Swansboro, we became interested in composting as a solution for the food waste we saw being generated by the market. In 2014, our compost pile was born. Even after several moves, we scooped up the pile and moved it with us. In 2016, friends started bringing us food scraps to compost, and by 2018, we realized the potential this operation had for business, and Crystal Coast Compost's Instagram page was made. Then, in April 2022, Earth Month, Crystal Coast Compost was officially registered as a business in North Carolina. Crystal Coast Compost is a small-scale community composting service along the coast of eastern North Carolina. We offer both residential and commercial food scrap pickup services in Carteret and Onslow counties. Currently, we manage food waste through our subscription programs for both residential and commercial entities. In addition, we offer a drop-off program at the Cedar Point Farmers Market. Our market service allows clients to decide their own bucket swap frequency, and it is a great affordable option to get the community composting. We are hoping to expand to another market this summer, as well as partner with our commercial clients to set up several drop-off locations throughout the community. Our program works by providing our residential subscribers and market drop-off members a 4-gallon bucket, lid, and compostable liner for their food scraps. We charge a one-time fee for the bucket to cover the cost if one gets lost or broken. For our residential subscribers, we offer pickup once a week. For our market subscribers, the swap frequency is really up to them, which allows lower-income families an opportunity to participate in our program, although we do recommend once a week to avoid any unwanted odors. Our commercial food scrap pickup program provides these subscribers with a 32-gallon wheeled tote with a lid and lock. We have plans to expand our program to more commercial entities such as restaurants, coffee houses, businesses, schools, and fish houses in the coming year. We also provide composting for events such as the North Carolina Coastal Federation Pelican Awards and Wine and Brine events, as well as farm-to-table dinners hosted by Carteret Local Food Network. We also have plans to work with local food rescue organizations in our area to compost inedible food. Crystal Coast Compost works to fulfill its mission to compost the coast by prioritizing the need for food waste reduction practices in our area. In addition to being a tourist destination, we are also next to one of the largest military bases in the country. We have an influx of people coming to and from our community year-round. Vacationers buying excess food and having to throw it out at the end of their beach vacation, alongside military personnel and their families getting orders elsewhere and needing to dispose of the contents of their fridge, makes for a large amount of food waste ending up in our landfills. Our composting program allows us to provide composting service to both residential and commercial entities while working with farmers markets to provide a drop-off service for those vacationing or leaving town, reduces the amount of food waste going to our landfills, and also improves education on composting and its benefits to various members of the community by partnering with local organizations and schools. In the coming years, we plan to become a distributor of compostable products and provide bulk sale of finished compost, topsoil, potting soil, and other blends, as well as other niche products such as worm castings. Let us talk school compost programs, from cafeteria to compost. We chose to begin our school compost program with Queens Creek Elementary School, located in Swansboro, North Carolina. We chose QCE because they are a green and global school. In addition, for 7 years in a row, Queens Creek Elementary has been named an NC Green School of Excellence. As such, Queens Creek Elementary is a learning community that prepares students to be responsible leaders in building a sustainable world. With Queens Creek Elementary's participation in programs such as the National Crayon Recycling Program and their Junk Jammers Band, we knew composting would be a great fit and easier to implement with children who are already exposed to daily sustainable practices. Crystal Coast Compost is currently working with the principal, Michelle Riggs, Green and Global Team Leader, Tracy McIntyre, as well as the Onslow County Nutrition Director, Rebecca Collins, to set up food scrap pickup service in the cafeteria for the 2023-2024 school year. With the grant funding provided by the North Carolina Composting Council, we purchased 2 Toter brand 32-gallon organics roller bins with gasketed lids and locks. We will use these totes to get their school composting program started and will adjust accordingly. Queens Creek Elementary School also has a spirit rock that Crystal Coast Compost plans to rent the rock to paint for International Compost Awareness Week. It is Crystal Coast Compost's goal to support Queens Creek Elementary School's mission to empower the green dream. In July, we are setting up our interactive composting exhibit at Zing, Zumm Children's Museum in Jacksonville. We are working with the Executive Director, Samantha Plasica, to implement our initial exhibit in between the farm exhibit and kitchen and grocery exhibits. Our initial composting exhibit will include our 4-gallon buckets and felt food scraps such as apple cores, banana with removable peel, as well as other compostable items such as flowers and leaves. In addition, we have contacted the former Garbage Museum in Connecticut. I grew up going to this museum as a child, and sadly, the museum is now closed due to budget cuts. However, we are working with MIRA, Materials Innovation and Recycling Authority, to adopt this compost pile tunnel as seen in the picture below, to implement into an expanded composting exhibit for Zing Zumm. We are excited to hopefully bring this compost pile back to life, pun intended. Crystal Coast Compost also offers educational programs and composting demonstrations for children and adults. For our younger audiences, we read Compost Stew, an A to Z recipe for the earth. This is a rhyming recipe book explaining how to make dark, crumbly, rich, earth-friendly compost. We also include an interactive composting demonstration using pretend food scraps, leaves, flowers, cardboard, and newspaper that the children place into a Crystal Coast compost bucket. One of the favorite parts of our kids' composting demonstration is breaking up eggshells with a hammer. We then pretend to add water, we mix it all up by shaking the contents of the bucket, and we pretend to speed up time for the composting process. I then switch the pretend food scrap bucket with one filled with finished compost. We have often gotten responses that include, "It's magic," to which our reply is, "It is the magic of compost." We have utilized some of our grant funding to provide a copy of Compost Stew to each school, community program, or camp that we visit. There are some short clips of our amazing son composting and testing out our plans for the Children's Museum exhibit.
Good job, thanks. You're working hard.
You can see him here with some finished compost. And then bringing a bag of our food scrap toys and placing it in our Crystal Coast compost bucket.
Good job, thanks. You're working hard.
While we are disappointed we were unable to make it to the annual members meeting, we invite you to contact us with any questions or comments you may have. You can email us at crystalcoastcompost@gmail.com or info@crystalcoastcompost.com. Alternatively, you can see us at the market at Cedar Point every other Saturday from 9 to 2 p.m. if you are ever visiting the Crystal Coast. Or we encourage you to follow us on social media via Facebook or Instagram. Our website is currently under construction as we work to add a few new features for our subscribers. But soon you will find us at crystalcoastcompost.com. To conclude, compost is a labor of love. It is hard work. Often buckets are stinky. It requires patience and dedication. Our goal at Crystal Coast Compost is to make our corner of the world a little bit better each day and instill a love of compost in the kids of our community. By getting kids involved in composting, they develop an appreciation for the environment and learn about sustainability. They learn that composting reduces the amount of waste in landfills and contributes to a healthier planet. We would again like to thank the North Carolina Composting Council for providing us with this generous grant funding to educate and promote the importance of composting to the children of our coastal community. Thanks for helping us on our mission to compost the coast.